Now we'll have a message for the children from Marc.
Good morning, church. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers and motherly figures that have been at least part of my life, but a part of everyone's lives. So I'm going to lead off with a very weird question of how many of you know what my favorite hymn is, or favorite scripture is? And if you don't know, that's okay. It's just on the poster out in the gathering room, so it's okay if you haven't saw it. But it's 1 Timothy 4:12 that says, Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young. Instead, set an example for the believers through your speech, behavior, love, faith, and by being sexually pure. It's scripture that I base not only my life, but my ministry work on. And the more I've learned about Timothy, the more I've learned how much I resonate with him. And Paul said something about Timothy that struck me in 2 Timothy 1, verse 5. It says, I'm reminded of your authentic faith, which first lived in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice. I am sure that this faith is also inside of you. Timothy grew up learning about God, whether in church or in Sunday school or core or whatever the Greek version of core would be, and even around the dinner table. He had 2 generations of faith to learn about the wonders of God. And a lot of us may be able to say that our mothers did the same thing for us. My mother did. I grew up going to church every Sunday, even on those Sundays where I moaned and groaned and complained and cried. Yes, there was days like that where I really did not want to go to church. But she was the one that actually helped me start getting involved in the church. At our home church, Emmanuel UMC, she was in the UMW and worked on the finance committee, and I started setting up, I started helping with the audio setup and ushering. Now you can see why I take part in the sound booth so much. And then when our home church closed down and we were kind of church homeless for about a couple years, she still showed her faith that we're going to get back into the church. And in 2010, we found Mount Morris First UMC. Little did we know how involved our family would get because of that faithfulness to go to that church. Every member of my family have served different parts of that church in our time there. My dad was a trustee, an ad board chair, part of the memorial committee. My sister was a nursery attendant. I've served the youth and kids ministry, SPRC, and nomination. And my mom still works as a communion steward. Her giving heart shines through her work. That giving heart shines bright in me because of what she has taught, because of her. Her family was always rooted in the church with a servanthood heart. She had instilled it in her. She had it instilled in her and passed it along to both me and my sister. Her giving shines in us. She has given so much more to me, whether it's love, food, car rides, influence, comfort, laughter, and so much more. She has seen me through my highs and my lows, and yet still held her faith in me that God in his provision will show. So shout out to my mom for raising the best kid ever. And if anybody wants to argue with me about that, that's fine. But she celebrated her birthday yesterday too. So she gets an extra special weekend, sometimes landing on the same day, which makes buying gifts that much harder. But I pray that I can celebrate her not only yesterday, not only today, but the other 363 days a year that she deserves for being the best mom a guy could ask for. And if she is watching, hopefully I didn't embarrass you too bad, but she didn't know what I was going to say. She just knew I was going to say something. So I had to make it a surprise-ish kind of. But not only have I had an awesome mother, but I've had a lot of church moms that have helped shape me. In the 11 years now I've been really involved in church work, there have been a lot of powerful, faith-filled, and loving church moms that have played a huge role in my life. Now, I'm not going to name names, so that way I don't show favoritism, because everyone, all the women here, all the women at First Mount Morris UMC, First Baptist in Mount Morris, Emmanuel UMC, you all have a special place in my heart. but to those church moms that have met me where I've been and yet still stayed around to encourage, to love, to pray, to cheer, to laugh, to cry, and be frustrated with me, all I can simply say is thank you. There's some of my church moms that are still with us, and some that are celebrating up in heaven today. Obviously, one key role that's missing at the organ. But I hold everyone in my heart for helping to mold me into who I am today. Timothy had 2 generations of faith to grow up with, and it led him to being Paul's protege. I've had those same 2 generations, plus many more through you guys. And that is a blessing beyond of a blessing. So to all my moms that have mothered my faith in ways that I cannot put into words more so than I've said today, I want to celebrate you today. So thank you. And don't forget to pick up your flowers in the narthex as you leave today. You're going to get about 5 to 6 carnations as you leave. So thank you.